Hi there everybody and welcome. It's Jackie here from stampingjack.com. It is Wednesday the 7th of July, so welcome to this week's Facebook Live. As you join me, just leave me a comment below so I know you're here. And if you're watching me on the replay, leave me a comment so I know you're here as well. Let's see, just let me make sure that we're in the right places. Make sure that I share. Okay. There we go. How are we doing? Share. No. Here we go. So, how is everybody doing? So, look. Hi, Mary. Oh, football's on. Yes, I think I've got a clash tonight. Have I? This will show the true fans. Who are the true football fans here? But yeah, you can watch me on the replay. So yeah, fingers crossed that all goes well for the team tonight. I have to say, I am a little bit conflicted not being English, being Irish by nature. So, you know, prior to marrying an Englishman and taking British citizenship and doing all of that, I was very Irish and we tended to support anyone but England. So, but anyway, I wish them all the very, very best tonight. So we'll see how it goes. If there are any scores during our live that you know about, share it with us. Hi Doreen, welcome. Hi Lynn, welcome. It's good to have you. So yeah, where are we at? So lots going on here. So this week is a really big week because on Friday, Kevin and Rupert, that's husband and son, will be here. Yay! Hi Sue, welcome. So my sister-in-law is moving house. She's coming to the Isle of Man. She packed up her house today and she'll be there. So they're leaving the UK tomorrow and they'll be here first thing Friday morning. So I'm super, super excited to have them with me again. So that's really, really good. And then I'll have Rupert with me for the whole summer, which is going to be fun. But Kevin has to go back to the UK because obviously he hasn't found a job here in the Isle of Man yet, so he's got to stay in the UK until that happens. But big step forward in terms of the whole big plan for the big move to the Isle of Man, so I'm really, really excited about that. The other thing, had some happy mail this week, so we've been sharing pictures of our card swaps. So if you haven't seen them in our VIP group, we have this, the theme for the swap last month was masculine cards. So we had this one from Susan. I love the triangles and the offset design. It's very geometric, very graphic, absolutely gorgeous, very, very striking. And of course, slimline as well, which is great. And then I had this gorgeous one from Lynn, who has very cleverly done the reflection of this goose in here. And then she's done the embossing to create the effect of water. So really, really beautiful. And I remember this stamp set and I love this particular image. He's so gorgeous. So really, really nice, that one. And then we had one arrive today, which I haven't posted into the VIP group yet. And this is from Sue. Let me just check. Hi Amy, welcome. This is from Sue. So there we go. How's that? And this is using the World of Good, I think it is, stamp set. So we've die cut that out. Love the colouring here and just all that mixed of textures. And I love this little element, the little metallic elements on it as well. Are really, really lovely. So super, super, super. And I think this is just using the Coordinating Designer Series paper. Really, really nice. So I'm thoroughly enjoying participating in the card swaps every month. We'll be opening up the July card swap in the next few days. I just have to figure out what theme. So any suggestions is more than welcome. Slot them in. That would be really, really good. So then the other thing I need to tell you about is that it started on the 1st of July, but I haven't been live since then, is that we are having a designer series paper sale all this month until the 2nd of August. So most of our designer series paper is 15% off. So I'm just going to, not all of it, so I'm just going to point out the ones that are. So we've got The Beauty of the Earth, Bloom Where You're Planted, not Expressions in ink, which is a real shame, because that would have been cool. Hand penned, In Good Taste, In the Wild, Pansy Petals, Sweet Symmetry, Tidings of Christmas, and You're a Peach. So basically all of our non-speciality designer series paperbacks, they're 15% off. So do make sure and stock up while the going is good. Then when that ends, we have the start of, you're never going to believe this, but today I received the winter catalogue for Stampin' Up. So it's got all the Christmas stuff in it. I can't get my head around. I have this struggle every year. So the Christmas catalogue, or the winter catalogue, will be released on the 2nd of August. And that marks the start of Celebration, which again is fantastic because we normally only have that once a year, but this year we're having it twice. So for August and September, we'll bring back where you spend £45. For every £45 you spend, you get to pick a free gift. So I can't share the catalogue with you just yet, but I'm considering what my order might be so that I've got some goodies to show you. And of course, sometime around the beginning of August, I will be doing my usual catalogue launch party. So keep your eye out for that. So for tonight, I have 2 projects for you tonight. Tonight I wanted to do some shaker cards because I like shaker cards and I've been meaning to make one for a while, but haven't quite got round to it. So my first one, I've got 2 different ways that you can make shaker cards. One is simpler than the other, so just showing you both ways. So I'm going to start with the usual way of making a shaker card, okay? And I'm going to use the Stellar Birthday stamp set. So the first thing I'm going to do, so I've got a black card base, and then I've got a black layer, just a ½ centimetre smaller. I have a window sheet, so I cut a square 9½ centimetres by 9½, so it fits behind there. I've also cut myself a frame using some silver foil, but the first thing I'm going to do is in this piece here, I'm going to cut my aperture. I forgot to do that before I started, so bear with me 1 second. I'll be right back. There we go. So we've got our aperture. Okay, so what I tend to do is with my window sheet, I tend to cut it, you'll see that, almost the full width of the layer on top, just to give me plenty of room to work with. Okay, you'll see why later. So that will sit on there. So let's do a bit of stamping to begin with. So I'm going to use this cute little boy astronaut here. Okay, I'm just going to stamp him in Memento because I'm going to just colour him a little bit with my blends. So let's stamp him up first. So I always use my Memento ink when I'm colouring with my blends because my blends are alcohol based. So you need to stamp with a water-based ink, otherwise when you start to colour, it'll just bleed. There we go. Okay, so we'll give that a second to dry. And I will grab my blender pens. So we're just going to do some really simple colour blending. Grabbing my colours. So I'm going to start with, I've just got some light soft suede, which I'm going to use for his hair. Okay, and then I'm just going to use some light grey just for some bits of his helmet. I'm not doing a lot of shading on this. You could do, but I just want to keep it super simple. you go. So you can see I'm not being especially, you could take a long time over this if you wanted to, but I really want to show you more about the technique tonight. So I want to make sure we spend more time on that. So I'm going to add some yellow. This is Daffodil Delight for his star. And give him a yellow belt. Okay, I'm going to add some red to his belt. I'm actually going to use my bullet tip for these bits. It works better. There we go. And can you see it's bled a little bit here? So I'm going to grab my colour lifter, which is here, and I'm just going to pick up that extra colour. Go. Just work it a little bit, and now you can see that that's disappeared, which is really cool. And then I've got a little bit of some light pink. I'm just going to use for his, give him some rosy cheeks. Okay, there we go. Really, really simple colouring. Okay, and then I'm going to just quickly fussy cut him out. You'll watch later, Diane. You're going to watch the football. Okay, so again, when we're cutting, we move our paper rather than our scissors, leaving a little white border all around the edge. And by moving your paper rather than your scissors, it helps avoid really jagged edges as you're moving around. To get much more fluid motion. Should really put my glasses on for this. I haven't gotten used to the fact that I need to wear glasses. So I've been finding it quite often in my crafting. I'll be doing something and going, why is that crooked, or why does that feel really, really difficult? And then I'll realise that's because I can't see properly. So for those of you who don't know, I've just recently, in the last couple of months, had to have reading glasses, which is just, can't get used to. There we go. And then we can just come back in here with this bit. There we are. So now we have our super cute astronaut. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit of heat embossing. So this card's got a little bit of everything on it. Let's just grab our bits. Heat tool. We want our white embossing powder. So, first things first, just brush that with our embossing buddy to remove any static before we stamp. I'm just going to place him here so that I can understand placement. So the sentiment I'm going to choose is reach for the stars. So I'm going to make it not quite a happy birthday one. Okay, just to be a bit different. So this would be a really nice good luck card for a youngster. Okay. There we go. And then we just add our white embossing powder over the top. That's it. empty it back in. Very important step, that one. Hi Jules, welcome. You got sore eyes. Oh no. I hope they feel better soon. Right, reach for the stars. And we've got Sue with us as well. Welcome, Sue. So here we go. One of our favourites is our heat embossing, and watching that magic as it just melts and becomes all beautiful and glossy. There we go. Okay. And then you can just rub the rest of that off. So now we're going to create our aperture. Let's just fold our card base here. There we go. I must not lose this. That's one of the most difficult things about making your aperture cards, is not losing your window sheet, because it happens all the time. Right, so what I've got here is I've got my foam strips, and you need something like this to do these. You don't have to do a circle. You could do a square aperture, any shaped aperture you want. But the beauty of using a strip like this is that it allows you to go around the corners. The important thing here is to make sure that there are no gaps, because what you're doing is creating a reservoir, so to speak, for whatever your shaper bits are going to be. Okay, so just pull the strips off. Now, I've done that wrong. Excuse me. Let's pull this off a second, because what we should have done is we should have stuck down our window sheet first. So forgive me. So I'm just going to give it a quick wipe, because I've got some finger marks on it. Okay. So I'm just going to lay that down there. Okay, I'm just going to use my double-sided tape to stick that down. Okay, so that helps make sure that you've got no leakage out the front. So now we can go back in with our foam strips. And what you want to do is you want to leave a bit of a gap so that the foam strips are not like wildly obvious in your card. Can you see that? So they're set back a little bit, particularly as we're using a dark card base and our foam strips are white. So again, just trim that off, making sure that there's no gap anywhere around. Okay, so that's that. Then what we want to do is, you can use dimensionals or you can use your strips, is we want to lift our card layer up. Okay, so the important thing to do here is you can use what you wish. You could use your dimensionals or foam tape, but it's to make sure that whatever you're using is the same height, because our foam strips here are slightly taller than our dimensionals. So if you were to use dimensionals, it'd look a bit odd. Okay. Okay. Oops. And then I'm just going to add a little bit here just to help hold the whole thing up. Okay, so now we have our front piece. So now we're going to add our shakers. So you can use any sort of things that you want. I've got some stars here. I got these from The Works. I've been waiting for an excuse to use them. You can use these. You can use that table confetti. You can use sequins. Anything you like that kind of moves around. You could even die cut little pieces to help to do that as well. It's entirely up to you. So what you want to do is you want to just add your pieces, okay? So you want to make sure it's reasonably full. You don't want them to be too sparse. Okay, and then all we're going to do is just keep our bits in the center. Okay, we're just going to peel if I can get to it. Fingernail's not working. There we go. Oh dear. I need to grow my fingernails. I've been doing some DIY recently and my fingernails have just paid the price. Okay, so let's just keep these inside. Like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my card and then I'm just going to have to double check. Yeah, so I'm going to lay my card base down. Okay, and this is where if you use the same color card base, it's not as obvious if it's off. So now here we have our shaker. Ooh, something's popped out. Have I got a leak? No, I've just got some. Now I like the fact that so sometimes what people suggest you do is you emboss around the edge where your adhesive is so that they don't stick. But I actually like it when my bits stick a little bit because it helps give a little bit more dimension. Okay, and then we're going to add our little fellow here. So I'm just going to grab my black dimensionals. But I have one more step before we do that. I'm going to add some splatter to this. So it's a technique I used a little while ago. We've just got some of our craft ink, which I put on the block. It's dried now, but I'm going to bring one of our water brushes in, and I can reactivate this ink just by wetting it. Here we go. Okay. And I'm just going to, there we go. Simple as that. I'm going to add that on there. Move that out of my way so I don't get it on everything. Okay, and now very carefully while that dries, I'm just going to add my little astronaut. And then I think we probably want some sparkle on this, so I'm going to get my Wink of Stella. Add that on there. And then I'll take these errant stars and using my glue dots. Oh, got a glue dot on my finger. Okay. There's one. 2. And let's do one more, shall we? Okay. Again. Oh, there's one here. There we go. So there we have it. Simple shaker card. Okay, so that's the traditional way of doing it. But there is an alternative, which is what I'm going to show you next. So let me just clear some of this away. So, oh, what I forgot to do, silly me, can I fix it? I forgot to put my frame on, so let's do that. I think this finishes it off nicely. Get my glue going. So I'm just using liquid glue for this. So to create a frame for an aperture, what you want to do is, what I've done here is I've taken the circle that I used to cut the aperture die and placed it inside a die slightly bigger. So that creates a frame that I know will fit my circle. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That looks much better, doesn't it? So there we are. Aperture card number 1. So now for the second one, it's a bit of a cheat. Okay, so if you don't have window sheets or whatever, it's using our, so these are cello bags, which normally we use for just putting our cards into when they're made. Or if we sell our cards, they go in here, so you can see. Okay, but we can use these as well. So what I've got, what I'm going to use is the shaker shape. So these are in our catalogue, and I love these. They're like they feel like little rubber kind of shapes. So you've got hearts, circles, and stars. There's Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, and I think this is Polished Pink, but I'm not sure. So what I've done is I've created a Granny Apple Green card base. Okay, now again, you could do this in any colour, picking up any of the colours that are in there. Ooh, it's the internet playing up, Sue. It looks fine where I am. I don't mean to sound bad, but I hope it's just you and not all of us. And then what I've done is I've taken a piece that is 10 by 4, so it's just that little bit smaller, in the same colour, and I've embossed it with my brick embossing folder. And part of the reason I want to do this, you'll see in a minute, is it kind of helps our bits to catch a little bit, okay? So put that to one side, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiments. So again, I want, hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. So I thought that was good, given that this card is filling it with shakers. So. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that in, what will I do? I think I will do it in Mango Melody, actually. A bit of orange, I think, will look nice. If I can find it. There it is. Okay. There we go. It's going to go there. I'm going to grab some ribbon. So, just looking, what ribbon shall I use? Going to use, no, not that. Let's use some pink. We've got some polished pink, and actually I don't like the orange there, so I'm going to go with polished pink. There we go. Okay, alright, so now what we want to do is we want to take this piece here and we want to slide it inside the bag, like so, okay? And then we just want to make sure that it's fully lined up into one corner, see that? Okay, and then we're just going to pour some of our pieces. Okay, and now you can see part of the reason why I like the embossed folder is that it helps to hold some of them so they don't just fall down to the bottom every time. Okay, so now what we want to do is making sure that our piece of card is all the way in the corner. Flip it over, and then we want to just close our bag. So this is a much easier way of making a shaker card. And then what we want to do is just fold this piece back, okay, and just use tape for this. So again, just making sure you've got a nice seal. You can use regular sellotape for this if you want. There we go. Now we have our shaker. Okay, but now what I want to do is I want to attach this down here with some ribbon. Okay, so just going to use my usual zigzag of ribbon. Okay, so we just use our snail adhesive here just to hold this in place for us. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Yes, I do love the bright colours in here, and I think if you were to, you could change this out, even though there's pink in it, you could change this out and do it as a boys card if you used orange rather than pink. Okay. There we go. So now you can see that because we've got this here, they do tend to, because this is kind of pushed the acetate in a little bit, or the, what's the word, cello bag in a little bit, so they don't just all land at the bottom, which is what I always try and avoid when we've got shaker cards, because then it just looks a bit boring. Okay, and then I'm just going to attach that to our card base. So I'm going to add some dimensionals on here. And you could fill this with anything that you wanted. Oh, that's a shame, Sue. I'm sorry you're having problems, but you can catch us on the replay. Okay, alrighty. So we'll just get these last bits. There we have it, and we've got a little bit of ink on here, so let's see if we can rub that out. No, so I will embellish instead. Choose our stars. There you go. So what we'll do is I'm going to, this is just a little bit of the backing off one of my the stamps, but you can use anything that's got a slightly shiny surface. You can use one of our silicone pads as well, but this works just fine. So now I've got my take your pick tool. I'm just going to get some putty out, and then what I'm going to do is just pick up my stamp or my star, wipe it into the glue, so we just get a little bit of it on there, and then pop it back down again. There we go. There we are. And now you'd never know that I had a stamping accident on that one. What had happened was I'd inked my stamp up a little bit too much. And a juicy ink pad. So there you go. So it's just a quick one from me tonight, because I was conscious that lots of you might have other places to be. So that's just a very quick 2 ways to do shaker cards. So let me know which one is your favorite, and if you decide to have a go, I'd love to see a picture of what you make. So yeah, looking at this, you could put patterned paper in the back here. You could do all sorts. The possibilities, as they say, are endless. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure having you here tonight. I hope you enjoyed our projects. I hope you give some shaker cards a go. Don't forget about the designer series paper sale. Oh, thumbs up. Thank you so much. I love that. Yay. So second one is the favorite from Amy, and then number 1. This is easy for you to choose tonight. Normally you have many more to choose from. Thank you. I think we've got first one for Lynn, Stamp and Star Creations. I'd love to know what your name is, and then I can address you properly. So yeah, there we go. 1 and 2. They are fun, Doreen. They are fun cards. That's what I like about them. But it's similarly, you could use much more muted colours and sentiments. Oh my gosh, we've got hearts now as well. Wow. Feeling the love tonight, ladies. Thank you so much. So there we go. Shaker cards. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you all again next week. Enjoy the football. Bye.